Hey guys, so I know I haven't really done a video in a minute, but to tell you the honest truth, life has been lifing. And I haven't done one of these in a minute, so let's do this. I'm going to be giving my unsolicited opinion on something, and as usual, nobody never asked me, I just enough. Zine? So yesterday my sister sent me a video of my former high school, my alma mater in Jamaica, celebrating their first Afro day at school. And I'm gonna post a snippet of that video right here. Before anybody come for me about showing people's faces, this is a publicly posted video. I just literally grabbed a snippet of it. All right, so let's watch it together and let's come back and talk. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way. Changed my whole. So here is my opinion on that video that y'all just watched. And let me preface this video by saying, I am a black woman through and through. I'm a black woman from Jamaica. I think the least little bit of color in my lineage probably goes back 5 generations to my great grandmother who was half Jewish. So up until now, everybody since then has been dark caramel to deep cocoa. So if there's any skin in the game to talk about this, I think I have a right to. Zine? And what I want to say about that video we just watched is this. We have to know where to, well, first of all, I see lots of comments under the video lauding them for, doing this for the first time. And Westwood is what, 140 years old? Because 43, I think, because I think they were founded in 1882. And in the school population of anywhere from probably 80 to 90% black girls, majority of that percentage has 4C kinky hair, the kinkiest, the coiliest, the nappiest, the lowest of porosities, the one that is usually the first to dry out, the bomber brush, the drunk or draw breaks in your head top ear. Majority of the students there have it. And for them, celebrating that for the first time ever in 143 years, these girls are to now have some newfound appreciation for the school, because for the first time in 143 years, they are allowed to wear their hair how it naturally grows out of their head. I don't think that's a win. I don't think that's a win. For whenever I have to tell people about my life, the high school bit I tend to skip over, because while I have the most gratitude and thankfulness for the foundations that I got from high school, I believe it's one part of my journey and history that I don't even want to talk about much. And before people come over here and talk about how this is just enforcing discipline and rules, I really do beg to differ, because the rule book that you get upon entering Westwood, and I went to Westwood in the very early 2000s, right? It specifically said at that point in time in 2000s, when Westwood was about to celebrate 120 plus years, that no afros and no puffs were allowed. So as a 4C girly, I had to find somebody to braid my hair. My family could have barely even afford it, but we made do. And if I managed to slick back my hair, I couldn't wear a bunny puff at the end, but I have to find some way for just plait it out. And remember, as girls with 4C, our hair doesn't grow down onto our back. It grows out and up. Like a tree seeking sunlight, branches seeking sunlight, that's how our hair grow. It don't necessarily grow down onto our back. So get it into a state of brushing it. You might put a little hair gel in your hair. That was frowned upon. Hair gel was frowned upon. Hair supplies, matey clips in our day, they were frowned upon. Hair clips were frowned upon. And as a matter of fact, being the only traditional girls' school in Jamaica that still wears a hat to school, we still wear a straw hat. It's called a jippy dropper hat. If your hat can't fit on your hair, then it's not a hairstyle for school, right? And also, if you decide to put a silk liner in the hat so that the straw from the hat don't dig out your head middle, that was also frowned upon. You could get an order mark which goes on your permanent record for wearing your hair a certain way at this school that is majority black 4C girls going there that are now applauding that for the first time ever they are wearing their hair in its natural glory. And you do realize that on the back of this, none of the afros are unkempt. They look very stylish, very normal, very age appropriate. The girl with the hat is also showing you that you can wear your hat with an afro without it being deemed, uncouth, uncalled for, or unprofessional. So you tell me now, you're telling me that they just came to the realization when that video was about to be made that afro hair, 4C hair is versatile hair, that it can look professional, that it deserves to be praised just as much as any other hair texture. Because the 10 to 15% palm-colored students who go to that school don't meet the same requirements. If they wear their hair down in a ponytail, they're not required to plait it out. And because their hair naturally grows down onto their shoulders or into their backs, them can wear them hair loose and nobody not question them. And I know somebody listening to this video is now gearing up to say, hair shouldn't matter, hair shouldn't stop you from learn. It's just about listening to the discipline, and if you can't follow the people, them school rules, you need to find somewhere else go. Let me ask you this. If hair should not matter so much, then why are they singling out a specific group of people who wear their hair a certain way? If hair don't matter, Why are you saying to me that only afros and puff hairstyles should not be worn? It's similar to when boys will wear a faded high top and they get told that the hair is too high, but a counterpart of a lighter skin tone or from a different class society in Jamaica, they will never find any problem with their hair. It's the same thing where parents had to advocate for their children who are religious Rastafarians to be able to wear locks in school. And for such a simple thing that does so much for the self-esteem, to boost the self-esteem of a child, because people talking about hair doesn't matter, it matters. It matters in the way we see ourselves. And if it didn't matter, you wouldn't have girls like me in high school trying to jerry curl my hair, or girls who ended up wearing relaxers, lies, bunning out them scalp, and jerry curl for 4 hours sitting under a dryer trying to get your hair to conform. If it was not a big deal, why did you make so many rules only to one specific group of people? Wanna talk to me? Because they knew that it mattered. Because they know how important hair is to us. But in a bid, and I've always said it, Westwood was founded by 4 missionaries. They didn't so much care about that it was for all girls. It was more so about conformity to their way. That is it. And I'm not saying that girls need to be wearing orange colored or yellow colored hair or hair outside what would be considered the norm. All I'm asking for is respect for the girls whose hair naturally grow out of them head. So that is it. Naturally, that is it. Right? That is the only ask. The ask is that as a youngster going to high school, I couldn't even wear hair. We couldn't wear braided hair. If you do find somebody who can twist up your hair, you have to make sure say it's done with your real hair. Right? And now we feel like we're in overdrive trying to find protective hairstyles to correct what we did to ourselves as high schoolers because schools told us that our hair wasn't good enough. And I am supposed to applaud you that in 2025 you're celebrating the first Afro Day at school. Y'all don't see that as performative? Get the